So in this video, let's talk a little bit about the basic parts of a microscope. So as you can see, I purposely did not include the top half of the microscope. As you know, the tablet is on the top of our new microscopes. I wanted to focus more on this part of the microscope, a very traditional part of the microscope. The bottom of the microscope is called the base, a pretty generic name. And as you have figured out, along the back of the base is where we have the light switch to turn on our light source. This platform right here is referred to as the stage of the microscope, and that's where the slide is going to sit. As you can see, I have a slide here on the microscope nestled in where the little clamp is. So this is called the stage of the microscope. And then we have these lenses right here. On this particular microscope, there are 4 of them. And as you can see, they are different sizes, and they're also different colors. There is a black band on this longest one. There's a blue band, a yellow band, as you can see, and a red band. And if you notice, the red is the shortest one. These are called objective lenses. The shortest one is going to be the lowest power, and we're always going to start with the lowest power objective lens in the downward position. And when you go to put the microscope away, you really won't have to be putting it away, but just when you stop using the microscope for the day, if you could also kind of remember to put that in the downward position on low power, that would be great as well. So like I said, this is the lowest power objective lens. And then this little part here that you notice I was rotating these objective lenses on, this is called the rotating nose piece. And you can kind of hear it, probably not on this video, but in person, you can hear it or you can feel when those objective lenses click into place. Up through here, this is called the body tube, although we don't really pay much attention to that in class, but that's where we have some mirrors in there to reflect the light that's coming through our particular specimen. This little component up here is called the eyepiece. This actually also has a magnifying lens in it. The lens in here is a 10 times magnifying lens, so it's going to magnify our object 10 times. I'll talk more about magnification in the other video where we actually explain how to use the microscope. A couple more pieces. Over here on the back, you'll notice there are 2 big knobs. We use these knobs to help bring our particular image into view. The bigger of the 2 knobs is called the coarse adjustment knob, and as you notice, it is responsible for moving the stage up and down. The smaller knob, when you rotate that, you'll notice nothing really changes. We can't see it moving, but this is actually bringing things into really fine focus, and so that's called the fine adjustment knob. So fine adjustment knob, coarse adjustment knob. You usually want to move the coarse adjustment one first, and that brings the stage up, and then you want to use the fine adjustment knob to make sure your image is very clear. There's a couple other features on this microscope that I know some of you have figured out and kind of played around with, but the only other one I'm really going to mention that we might use in class is underneath. There is a little silver lever, if you can kind of see it in the video. This is actually allowing different amounts of light to come through the stage of the microscope, and so that little lever is referred to as the iris diaphragm. Kind of like the iris in your eye will open and close and allow different amounts of light through. This is what we call the iris diaphragm of the microscope. So again, we have a base, light source, iris diaphragm, stage to hold our microscope slides. We have our objective lenses with the rotating nose piece, body tube, the eyepiece, the other magnifying lens, coarse adjustment knob, fine adjustment knob. Those are really the basics of the parts of the microscope.